Well, what is going on, YouTube? We are back. YouTube play of the day. PPS here. It is time for another spot. I'm going to give you two plays today. College basketball slate is absolutely loaded today, and I'm ready to talk about it. Again, I'll try to be a little quicker with this video. I'm going to be tough because it's going to be a long-winded two games that I want to talk about quite a bit. Right now, I'm not seeing FanDuel have any lines up at all. Unfortunately, for bets for college basketball, I'm seeing here. So I'm going to make it a little bit tough. So obviously, line shop here, we always talk about it past the prop or anything. We always talk about line shopping there. So make sure you do that. But like right now, I'm doing these videos early as always. So make sure you do that and check it out. All right. Gonzaga first half over is going to be one of our plays. And I'm going to play Tulane over 161.5. There, again, FanDuel doesn't have lines up, so mind that. First, before we get started, have to recap. Memphis did fail us. I don't know what happened. I looked at it. It was at like 55, 56 with like 6 minutes left. Really was on pace. Both teams in bonus. Don't know what happened. At some points, it was like 84 first half over line, and then they just went ice cold, terrible possessions. I had team total game in this as well, which hit. I had the over, which hit. I was really invested in this game, but my favorite spot didn't come through. Luckily, we rolled that out in more exposure. Like I said, in VIP, I think I had 3 bets in this game. Because I really loved it, man, and just slowed down at the end of that first half and then just blew over the total. I think there was 32 points scored in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half or something like that. It was fast. It was fun. Just mind you, that's going to be how those teams play. UTSA is that type of team, man. Shout out them for putting up a good performance in Memphis last night. All right, showed you already. Gonzaga first half over, 75. Facing off against Santa Clara. I know these are two completely different teams than last year, but do like to see that both games went over 74 possessions, which is very, very nice. When we look at Gonzaga here and Santa Clara, both teams in the top 100 in pace. Gonzaga sitting at 66 and Santa Clara sitting at that 83 spot. Both offenses are pretty nice as well. Santa Clara 120, Gonzaga 20th in adjusted offense. I think this is going to play pretty quickly. I think Santa Clara, this is going to be their first conference home game, and it's facing off against Gonzaga. So I think that's why I'm going to go with first half over the full game. I think Gonzaga obviously comes out ready to go. This is going to be their first test in conference, right? I mean, you saw their last two games have been San Diego, Pepperdine. Both of those games decided by more than 20 points. Absolute stompings, but this is a big game for them. They're going to come in locked and loaded. Santa Clara is a good team. They're a very nice roster here. And they always find a way to stay close in this conference. This year, with Gonzaga being a little bit down, I think they do have a shot at this conference. Santa Clara is going to be rolling 3 guards out there. 2 of them very, very good in Ball and Marshall. 14.2 and 16 points per game there. Both of them over 40% from 3, which I think is very important. Gonzaga is in the middle of the country in that number in 3-point percentage allowed, which I think, like I said, very, very important here when you're playing they're playing on the road, right? You're playing a team in their home gym. I think it's very, very important to back these teams that can shoot the ball against this Gonzaga team, because it is going to be important here. We go to Santa Clara. On the season, they're averaging 37.5 points per game in the first half at home so far this year. Gonzaga, always a top team in terms of scoring in the first half, 43.1 on the season here. I think both teams are going to be able to shoot the ball very well against each other. But like I said, you go to these teams that you know how they want to play. And we've seen last year, you can go back multiple years back, you find these guys, they want to run and gun. My biggest issue for Santa Clara and why I think they're not going to be able to stop Gonzaga much is truly, I don't know how you slow down Graham Ike in this matchup. Graham Ike is an absolute beast, guys. He's huge. He's wide. He can move you. He has even had the ability to step out for threes, right? He's shot 36% from 3 so far this year. But Ike, right? 6'9", 240. Big dude. the center / guy that you're going to see from Santa Clara here. We have a Johnny O'Neal here, 6'10", 205. No chance. EK is going to move that guy around and throw him around there. And then you go to Christoph Tilley, who is their other guy there, only playing like 16 minutes a game, 7-footer, 220. Those guys are skinny dudes. Graham EK will move these guys around. He has great post presence, great post moves. Also been having a really good ability to start seeing these outside shooters make shots. I was making fun of Nolan Hickman early on this year because he couldn't hit anything. Now the dude's starting to pick it up a little bit. Nemhard's been looking like the guy that you wanted to see in terms of creating 6 assists on the year. He's been fantastic lately. I've watched those first 2 conference games. This dude's been finding everybody. And Braden Huff off the bench, telling you he's going to be hitting some threes. So really like this spot for the over. I think the pace will be there. And I think that, like I said, the 3-point ball, I like backing the home teams with the 3-point shooters, right? And we have that here with Santa Clara at home. You know your rims. Gonzaga has the ability to shoot outside, but I think they're going to be a little bit more willing to go into the paint because they're not really the best 3-point shooting team, middle of the country, about 129 in that category. But you have the clear advantage in the paint. So we have a paint matchup. We have fast pace, and we have a team on the other side who can shoot threes very, very well. 2 guys over 40%. So really like this over in the first half. Gonzaga has been known to kind of slow it up in the second half lately, just because we've seen those games get out of hand. I think it could get out of hand, but I think Santa Clara first game at home this year in conference. I think that both come out firing, and that's why I want to go with the first half here. First home game for them. Second one I showed you already, Tulane FAU over 161.5. I know this is a huge number. These numbers have actually been hitting at a lot better rate than I expected. These games over 160. I did listen in on some of these other, I listen to enough content to kind of be different than me, right? I want to learn. I want to hear what other people are saying and why we see these numbers kind of moving around. And I mean, you can watch, I know Nadu does his stuff. He's got some stuff out there. I know I used to do those soccer shows for BetUS 2-3 years ago, and they do a college basketball stuff. Very good stuff if you haven't watched that already. But they're talking about these because you end up looking at these teams need to score and need to score a lot of points for not only recruits, but for these numbers in KenPom. That's how important KenPom is at this point in the game, right? You got to get your numbers up. And if you're blowing a team out by 20, it's significantly different than if you're winning by 1. That's why we're seeing these numbers fly up, guys. And you're seeing the scoring a lot higher here. FAU, John L. Davis, everybody knows him from last year. You got Elijah Martin, got Golden. Obviously, John L. Davis is an absolute stud. I think that it's going to be a fun game. FAU, elite offense, absolutely elite offense. Something you always want to back is these overs. They're 10th in the country in adjusted offense. Pace, a lot lower than I expected, 210. And their defense is okay. It's good. But when you look here, you're going to be playing Tulane here, boys. Tulane is a team you want to throw overs on. They're the 17th fastest in the country. They have an elite offense, top 50 in the country, adjusted 208 in adjusted defense against the 321st strength of schedule against offenses. So the offenses they've been playing have been absolutely dog shit. And now you're going to be playing FAU. Tulane cannot guard the 3 ball, but Tulane does play extremely fast and they can score, right? I think that this is going to be another matchup where who's stopping Kevin Cross, right? I understand you got Golden down there as a 7-footer. Kevin Cross can shoot threes, dude. 6'8", shoot threes, 36%. Kobe King, 39%. Zion James, 42%. Forbes, 32%. This is a team that can shoot the ball. They're phenomenal at home. You look at these numbers here. Florida Atlantic is a top shooting team in the country here. Tulane shoots 37% at home from 3. Florida Atlantic shooting 36.6% from 3 on the year. This is going to be fast. It's going to be quick. I talk about this all the time and why I want to back the first half overs, but Tulane and FAU, some of the best second half scoring teams. They're both very good in the first half. Don't get me wrong. I looked at it. I did look at wanting to back that first half number, but Florida Atlantic, 27th in the country in second half scoring at 42.7 points per game. Tulane this year, 12th in second half scoring, 45.4 points per game at home this year, guys. And if you want to just look at the full numbers, if you don't want to just look at home, 44.2. I mean, these guys are scoring at will in the second half. We get a lot of fouls. Tulane does foul a lot. FAU is a great free throw shooting team, a phenomenal three-point shooting team. Tulane does not guard the three-point ball well. And Florida Atlantic, like I said, 36.6% from three. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop anybody. Both teams are going to make their shots. You have a Tulane team who's phenomenal at home from deep. FAU shoots the ball well everywhere. Tulane can't guard the three ball. And I don't think FAU is going to be able to match up with Kevin Cross. I think Kevin Cross is going to be a tough matchup. He's a senior, 6'8", can shoot the ball, hits his free throws. Just a guy that I want to back, right? We have Tulane, too, as well. As an underdog here, they have 3 of their top 4 scorers shooting 78% or better from the free throw line, with Forbes shooting 83%. So very important as well when you're backing dogs to keep this close so you can follow at the end. So Tulane over 161.5 minus 108. Gonzaga first half over 75. 30 and 14.95 units, guys. Going to keep updating this every day we can, and hopefully we can get back in the win column tonight after a little run there before. So thank you, guys. Have a good one. Hit that like button, please. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video and Pass the Prop.